We're on.
Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Scapanello. Resolved that the regular meeting commence at the hour of 7 p.m. And be it further resolved that Council acknowledges that we are meeting in the Rockland Superior Treaty Area on lands that have been traditionally used by several Indigenous nations. But we would like to pay special recognition to our closest Indigenous neighbours, the communities of Bittergon, Nishnabek, and Pic-Mobile First Nations. We wish to recognize the long history of the First Nations and Métis people in our region specifically and show respect to them today.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Moffat?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Mayor McEachern?
Yes. Call the meeting to order. I have two additions to the agenda. Item number 15-04, Section 239-2C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, 8 Falcon Avenue. And agenda item number 15-05, Section 239-2C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, 7 Otter Avenue. Moved by Councillor Scapanello, seconded by Councillor Moffat. Resolved that the agenda be approved as amended.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Moffat?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Mayor McEachern?
Yes. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? Seeing none, we'll move on to delegations and presentations. There are none. We'll move to the adoption of the minutes of previous meetings. Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Scapanello. Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting held on July 8, 2020 are adopted as circulated.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Moffat?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Mayor McEachern?
Yes. Moved by Councillor Scapanello, seconded by Councillor Moffat. Resolved that the minutes of the special meeting held on July 30th, 2020 are adopted as circulated.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Moffat?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Mayor McEachern?
Yes. There are no petitions. You handle the correspondence in your speech.
Yes, I have it in my notes. Yes.
Okay. Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Scapanello. Resolved that the minutes of the meeting of the Thunder Bay District Social Service Administration Board held on June 18, 2020 be accepted as received.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Moffat?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Mayor McEachern?
Yes. Next item will be an update by our CAO.
Thank you. Through the chair, the first item is, if everybody's noticed, our municipal flags are at half-mast, and that's to honor the former Manitouwadge Mayor Andy Major. Andy served as a councillor from 2005-2006 term and as mayor from 2014 to 2018, and offer municipal condolences to his family. Today we received notice from Minister Stephen Clark, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. The ministry is providing $145,600 of COVID relief funding to the community of Manitouwadge. We will receive these funds in September. They ask that these funds are used to offset COVID-related costs for the municipality, and that any surplus at year-end be put in reserve for potential COVID continuation in 2021. So Acting Treasurer Towns completed the paperwork today, and we'll accept to receive those in September. This is the first round of this program. There is another round slated for November, which we have to apply for, and so we will be, we just got this late today, we will be looking at the criteria and if there is any municipal eligibility and do that. And as well, we're scheduled to have a delegation with the Minister of Municipal Affairs on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. And basically, we had itemized our COVID expenses, and we're looking to recover that. So we'll adjust our delegation to a thank you. And we are going to take the opportunity to talk about some of the things that have been done in the community related to emergency planning and the work on COVID. So we will give them an update on that as part of our delegation, but and a thank you will be in order. Yeah, so very good. The Manitouwadge Municipal COVID Relief Extreme Dollar Program is underway. Applications are being received and processed. We've completed and approved 355 applications already and have dispensed for 780 residents already. So we're about 41, a little bit higher percent into the program already, and it's been working fairly well. So yeah, it's been going good. Most people have been submitting their forms, and the next day or 2 days later we have them processed and their funds are provided to them. We're going to see how it goes. Right now we're doing Monday, Tuesday afternoons, Thursday afternoons, and Friday morning. We have had some comments where people like after hour or something, so I talked to Florence about it today, and we may set up for an evening or a Saturday. And some of them we just quite simply, at their request, we put it in the mail to them. It was easy to do that, so it's actually going along fairly good. We closed tenders for the paving of the runway at the airport, and we have a meeting tomorrow. Pioneer Construction was low bidder on the project, so we're meeting tomorrow with Pioneer Construction and Thunder Bay Engineering. They're the engineer of record on the project, and hopefully we'll get the project underway here in short order. They figure they can be in next week and start some of the preliminary work and getting ready and meet the deadline of having it completed before the end of September. So that's well underway. Final tax bills were printed today and will be put in the mail tomorrow morning. So all the basically 220 budget and taxation work is for the biggest share to be done and completed, and they'll be mailed out tomorrow. We had made a Infrastructure Canada improvement program application for the rec center in the amount of $4 million. We received notice that we were not nominated for funding, although it was disappointing to receive this news. Later on tonight we're going to talk about the recreation master plan for Manitouwadge, and it's better to find out this information before we get into that master plan study than after. So, you know, it'll certainly change the scope and the work that they look at in the master plan. So unfortunate, but timely. Last Friday, the Manitouwadge volunteer firefighters attended the Manitouwadge Hospital and donated 2 picnic tables to the long-term care wing. It was identified that there was a problem of people trying to visit their family and how many were allowed in the hospital, but if the patient can go outside to the picnic table, that they could see their family in that. So the boys stepped up, firefighters stepped up and donated 2 picnic tables to the hospital. So I thank them for the opportunity to support the community, and always makes me proud to be associated with them. So thank you. That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Scafanello, being a bylaw to permit propane tanks to encroach on municipal-owned property known as Plan Number M163, Lot 30, be read a first and second time.
Okay, we recently sold that commercial property to the owner. They've made a request to, they want to upgrade their heating system and put propane tanks in. As you know, many of the downtown commercial buildings are 100% lot coverage, so they don't own any property beside the building to put their propane tanks on. So this is the process that normally happens if they need to use a small area. So I think it was 8 feet by 10 feet is the amount in the encroachment agreement. So it's a nominal fee, but it ensures that we're covered under the insurance and named in the insurance as additionally insured should something happen. They've made comment, they're hoping it's a short-term thing anyways. If we're successful with the natural grass, their plan would be to convert over and we wouldn't need the encroachment agreement anymore. So,
any questions? Okay, seeing none. And further be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2020-19.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councilor Moffett?
Yes.
Councilor Scapanello?
Yes.
Mayor McEachern?
Yes. Moved by Councilor Scapanello, seconded by Councilor Moffett. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report CS 2020-06 submitted by Shelley Ferguson, Director of Community Services regarding Recreation Parks and Facilities Master Plan.
Through the
You're
chair.
on.
Thank you. Through the chair, during our budget meeting, we had discussed a master plan and had made arrangements for $100,000 to be allotted for this recreation master plan. It was discussed as well to present the scope of work to council for council's approval. Considering that we were not successful in getting the grant money.
I'm only hearing about 1 in 10 words, I'm sorry.
That's okay, thank you, Dave. No, it's probably me not speaking to the mic, sorry. Sorry, I'll start again. Dave, is that better?
Yeah, thanks.
So at the budget meeting, we had discussed the opportunity to present the scope of work for the recreation master plan to council for council's approval prior to going out to RFP. Since we were not awarded the grant money for the infrastructure money for the rec center, it definitely, in my mind, puts a big microscope on how we need to spend our money. It was a lot of money, the grant money. $4 million is a lot of money. And so now I believe that we need to look at what problems are hiding on us. Because I'm not an engineer or an HVAC technician or any of the other trades that are out there, to have someone come in and assess where our facilities are at. I have uncovered quite a few things in my short time with the municipality, and it's been an expensive bandage over and over again. So the idea of the scope of work is to assess our facilities and the needs with mechanical aspect of things, to look at what the community needs for a happy, healthy community, a vibrant community, and then to move forward with planning so that we can not Band-Aid every other day, but have a plan to resolve our issues. I think it's a fiscal responsibility on my part.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
So, through the chair, so right now you're looking at evaluating all the core recreation facilities?
Yeah, so in my master plan, it depicts the fact that we need to assess where we're at. I'll give you some examples. Recently, we've had a pool breakdown again. I had to go through propane hookup at the Golf Hut and discovered that we have a furnace that has not been installed to code, and it's an old furnace, so for me to retrofit now, I've got to backtrack. There's no grandfathering. I could be looking at more issues. Those are just the small fish. COVID has revealed that ventilation is a huge, huge issue. And looking around the rec center, again, I'm not an HVAC technician. There's a lot of questions that we need to uncover so that we are not throwing money on bandages and we're fixing correctly. Those are just some small examples in that area. The furnace at the chalet as well is old, so again, if I'm looking at two old furnaces, is there a possibility that I'm looking at things that are not up to code at the chalet that I will have to deal with eventually? Let's get them on paper, let's look at how that looks. As well as ask the community, you know, if I've only got $50 in my budget and we want to have things, what's imperative to you? What are you passionate about? What are we willing to invest? When I look at my budget at home, I try to assess, you know, if I need a roof next year, I'm going to put money away for my roof. But if I've got a foundation leaking, if my structural integrity is compromised, I need to look at all those aspects of things and prioritize so that I can put the money away for it, or get another job so I can put the money away for it. That's kind of what I'm trying to do with this master plan.
No further questions? Okay. And be it further resolved that upon conclusion of the Council's review and consideration, direct staff as follows. Council approves the scope of work as presented in the August 12, 2020 report to Council, and further the Council's direct staff to issue a request for proposal to undertake the Recreation Parks and Facilities Master Plan.
Councilor Arola?
Yes.
Councilor Moffett?
Yes.
Councilor Scapanello?
Yes.
Mayor McEachern?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moved by Councilor Moffett, seconded by Councilor Scampinello. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report TR 2020-07 submitted by Chris Towns, Acting Treasurer, regarding the Asset Management Program. You're on, sir.
So, thank you. As we've mentioned a number of times through our budget and et cetera, we are well into our asset management plan, and it's going to be ongoing forever. It is very very important to our infrastructure, our equipment, and for funding, et cetera. When we first implemented, because we were very new into it, we were using condition-based assessment, or age-based assessments, which is basically if you have someone that's 20 years old, it's 20 years old. Right? It doesn't matter how you treated it, it's age-based, and that's part of the TCA plan that previous councils have approved. What management has looked into through consultation with Public Sector Digest and citywide, the people that implemented our asset management program, they have got a bunch of municipalities that are teaming up, getting together, and they hired a group of engineers to come by and do actual condition-based assessments. With teaming up with a number of municipalities, we're going to save a huge portion of the money. In our operating budget, we had budgeted for the difference, waiting for this opportunity to come, knowing that it was coming. And essentially, we're at the point we just need council to approve us to apply for the grant. I have attached a copy of the a sample of a resolution that we would need to submit to them, to the Federation of Canadian Municipalities.
Questions? Any?
Through the chair, that's basically to assess what the assets are, like...
What we're doing, we're going to have, for us, mostly it's buildings, is what we're getting.
Okay.
And when these guys, we have a number of buildings, many are old, like the rec center is going to be one of them, the community center, the ski chalet, these will all be part of it. And it'll actually help with other funding, it'll help with the master plan when we have the information on engineered-based reports on the condition of these facilities. Because right now we look at them, they say, well, they're 40 years old. You put that on paper, what have you done? Well, we put a new roof on it. It doesn't give you a lifeline on it or give you a rating on how important this facility is structurally, right, as an asset.
So that will help going forward as far
Absolutely.
as getting
It'll help with our
money.
asset management plan, which is also a requirement through Ontario regulations. So.
Right.
Yeah, that's the important part. It's
Yes.
mandated to have an asset management
Yes,
plan.
absolutely.
So
And we've gone this far. I don't see why we wouldn't take that extra little step.
Through the chair.
Chris, is it the unbundling is part of this as well, eh?
Yes, as part of, yeah.
Yeah, what that means, if council read that in the report, take fire hydrants as an example. So the 167 or whatever we have in town, they look at them as one asset, and they're all the same condition, no matter if we put a new one in last week or not. They treat them all the same. So part of the exercise will be what they call unbundling, where we'll have specific on each one, and we can have a life appointed to each one, and know. So we're not looking at fire hydrants as an asset of $2 million. We say, okay, we know maybe we need $50,000 of planning and hydrant replacement. So the unbundling helps us manage the projections of the asset management plan a lot better.
Well, and as we unpool them as well, if we do major repairs to one, it'll be identified as its own asset.
Update that.
If we have to take one out of service, for whatever reason, it can be identified as that asset, not as our fire hydrants as a whole are out of service. And also with that, they're going to, part of the scope of the work was to look at our water and sewer mains and break them down into much smaller sections. Because right now it's from Oswegan to Adela, right? There's no...
The asset is listed as every pipe in town is one asset. So when you look at the dollar value and you plan for it, you're never going to replace every pipe in town in 1 year. Mm-hmm. So why have the plan written that way? Make it down to manageable bites and better projections over time.
So by the foot or by the length?
Yeah, whatever, and the age, and then if Public Works fixes a section, they take that thing, give it a new life cycle, and put that in the plan, so that isn't part of your big number then of your plan. So it makes it a lot more manageable, especially for smaller communities. What was pipes, street lights, fire hydrants?
Yeah, we upped it out of the street lights.
Okay, well,
it was the water and sewer mains
Yeah.
and the fire
Fire
hydrants.
hydrants that we went to unpool.
And then, along with to assist with this program, is we were approved for funding from NOHC to get for 2 years, I believe it was, to have an engineering student and do actual condition-based assessments on our storm drains, our ditching, and our shouldering. So this is all going to really tie together. There's going to be a great benefit to our asset management plan, and it takes time to get it all together. It's been a long battle, and it hasn't been the most fun by any means, but moving forward, it's going to be great to have.
Okay, so why did you opt out of the streetlights?
There was the streetlights, their life cycle themselves, and their LED. We've had them in service now for, 12 years?
I think so.
We had them in service for 12 years, and this was the first year we've done any repairs to them. And our costs were getting high, and we were exceeding the amount of funding available.
For the project, we could
For
only have so
this
much.
specific funding? Yeah, just for the specific project, we didn't see the need. We thought it was more important to get other work done.
And
No, I
one
just-
street light's not a big investment.
No, I was just
One-
curious on why that was left out.
Yeah, it was
Like,
a funding-
if you're giving everything a life, why were they excluded?
Yeah, fitting the funding amount was more the issue with
Okay,
the
yeah,
project,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Any further questions? And be it further resolved that upon conclusion of council's review and consideration, direct staff as follows. Council directs staff to apply for a grant opportunity from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM, Municipal Asset Management Program for asset data enhancement. And be it further that the Township of Manitowoc commit to conducting the following activities in its proposed project submitted to the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Asset Management Program to advance our asset management program. Building condition assessments, data work, hydrants, data work, sanitary, water mains. And further that the Township of Manitowoc commit $12,367 for its budget towards the cost of this initiative.
Councilor Arola,
Yes.
Councilor Moffat,
Yes.
Councilor Scapanello,
Yes.
Mayor McEachern.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moved by Councilor Moffat, seconded by Councilor Scapanello. Resolved that the council is in receipt of Administration Report TR 2020-08 submitted by Chris Towns, Acting Treasurer, regarding request for use of gas tax funds. Okay, you're both on now.
Good evening, Your Worship and members of council.
I wrote this on Terry's behalf as he was out of town, so just being in the area, and we had already put in a budget request for paving. There's an opportunity right now for us to get some shoulders paved, repairing intersection areas, driveway culvert repairs, and paving of the 40 Manitou parking lot. That opportunity is coming fast, and we need to pull the trigger. So we're requesting the use of $450,000 of our gas tax funds, which we've already received. This is at no cost to the ratepayer.
Okay, questions?
Yeah, question. So now the reason you're saying this is coming quickly, is that because you are hoping to combine this with the paving company that's going to be in for the airport?
There's the company that done our utility cut work was the lowest bidder. We reached out to Pioneer as well. They were higher on the cost estimate for this work. I have had discussions with Pioneer again because of the scope of work. The work that they're doing at the airport is totally different from this is small jobs compared to what they're normally accustomed to, and they can't fit it in their timeline. The company that done the work for us in July has a window that we can get this work done, and this is all improvements to areas that have been ongoing issues for years and years, and I was very careful to make sure when I looked at this scope of work that there was no infrastructure work that would immediately impact the repairs that are being done. The bottom line is the repairs that we're going to do, we're enhancing public safety, making intersections safer, dealing with issues in the Bird section of town where shoulders, the minute we get a torrential downpour, are non-existent. These are just one of many small upgrades that you can hopefully expect to continue to see as we keep moving forward. And a window has presented itself where we can get this work done, and that's the reason why I'm here this evening to address any concerns that you people have at the table regarding what we're proposing to do.
No, that's, go for it.
Councilor Roll, everything, you're okay?
Yes.
And be it further resolved that upon conclusion of council's review and consideration, direct staff as follows. Council approves the use of the $450,000 of gas tax funding to complete additional road repairs.
Councilor Arrola,
Yes.
Councilor Moffett,
Yes.
Councilor Scapanello,
Yes.
Mayor McEachern.
Yes. There are no motions or notice of motion, so we'll move into closed session. Moved by Councilor Scapanello, seconded by Councilor Moffett, whereas Section 239.4 of the Municipal Act 2001, SO 2001 C25, provides that before holding a meeting or part of a meeting that is to be closed to the public, a municipality or local board or committee of either of them shall state by resolution the fact of holding of the closed meeting and the general nature of the matter to be considered at the closed meeting. Now therefore be it resolved that this meeting is hereby closed to the public as the subject matter being discussed falls under the following sections. Section 239.2b, personnel matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. Motion submitted by Councilor Arrola. 2. Section 239.2c, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. 15 and 17, Agua Gardens. Number 3, Section 239.2c, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, 7 Barnett Street. That's all good.
Is that the old one?
The other two are not on here.
Yeah, I think that's...
Okay. Section 239.2c, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, 9 Falcon Avenue. And Section 239.2c, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, 7 Otter Avenue. Now you can ask them.
Councilor Arrola,
Yes.
Councilor Moffett,
Yes.
Councilor Scapanello,
Yes.
Mayor McEachern.
Yes.